So let's answer that first question. Here we spent the first CD or cassette tape talking to you about giving yourself time for yourself, a time to enjoy, a time to lock in what you want, a time for gratitude, a time to really program yourself for the kinds of successes you deserve. So why wouldn't people take that time out? Well, one reason is that people see the exercises involved and people have an interesting association to exercise. That's why I say just start by moving, right? But what happens is we're not in practice as a culture. We're not conditioned to discipline our focus, to discipline our bodies, to move ourselves. In fact, the word discipline for most people has a negative connotation, doesn't it? But the truth is anyone who's done it for a while loves that word because it gives you pride. It gives you excitement. You love the feeling of knowing that discipline just means you are in charge, that when you say something to yourself, you do it, that your word means something. That has power, and most people don't have it. That's why they fear discipline. They think discipline means a lack of freedom, when discipline equals freedom. Discipline is, man, I don't even have to think about it. I decide and I do. That has power. But why don't most people do it? They don't have practice at it. They've not conditioned themselves to do it. They just have no experience in it. And then they don't get there for the following reasons. First, number one reason, they rationalize. Now, we all rationalize at times, don't we? What's rationalization? It's when you tell yourself a story, when you come up with a reason why it's okay not to do something. You don't say it's okay. You just go, well, I know it's important, but, or, I'm really committed to it, but. Whenever you hear somebody say but, they usually have a big one. Because what happens is they haven't followed through. They're coming up with excuses about why not to do something, and so they don't do it. So they sit around, they never get the result they want. See, the people say, what are some of the rationalizations? What are some of the stories? Because I always tell people, and I said this to you in the first session, I hope you heard it. The only thing keeping you from what it is you really want is the story you have about why you can't have it. So what's that story? Well, some people say, I don't have the time. Listen, this is the only thing that is equal in all of humanity. We do not have equal opportunity. We do not have equal strength or intelligence or background or education or love. The only thing that's equal is the amount of hours we have. And so the truth of the matter is you have all the time there is. Whatever you make a must, you will make happen. If it's a should, it'll happen only if it comes together. So it's not you don't have time. Because who creates your schedule? So, well, I'm responsible to everybody. Then take an hour less of sleep and give this to yourself. I guarantee you're going to get further by this hour of focus and movement than you're ever going to do by sleeping. And most people sleep way too much anyway. They're sleeping their life away. But here's the real question. Not what do other people do. What do you do? Honestly. How do you rationalize? And I know you probably don't call it that. None of us do. But we do it. How do you rationalize not doing things? What's the most common rationalizations? In fact, in a moment, I want you to turn this tape off. Because I bet there's a pattern. Remember we said there are patterns to success and patterns to failure?